Hi, this is the video on the tomb of Rekhmire and his wife Meryt. TT, which is Theban tomb 100 at Sheikh Abdel Gurna, which is on the west bank of Luxor, Egypt, North Africa. Rekhmire served two kings, Tutmosis III and Amenhotep II. Rekhmire holds roughly 100 plus titles and honours by different kings. He was vizier for Upper Egypt and vizier for Lower Egypt, different times. Rekhmire was also the Wab priest of Karnak. That meant that he was responsible for the upkeep of the temple and the two festivals, the Feast of the Valley in July and the Feast of Opet in August. He was also the high priest of Heliopolis. He was a family man. He had 4 girls and 4 boys, 8 children. He's second only to the king. So when the king's away, he is one of 2 viziers who is all powerful in Egypt. He's the eyes and ears of the king in his absence. Now the pictures and the hieroglyphs in his tomb give us a unique advantage as to what the vizier actually did, because he had the script of the installation of a vizier, and it was listing every single job that a vizier was responsible for. So if we have a look at the tomb, it's classified as a T tomb because of its shape. Just inside the entrance is a lintel, and there are prayers to Ammon and prayers to Ra on the lintel around the door. The scenes in his tomb, the pictures, they got the biannual cattle count, so all cattle were counted once every 2 years, along with ducks and geese. Then you've got the annual taxation of wheat and barley, and the collection and storage in silos. You have Rekhmire before the king as a priest of Amun. He's the overseer of the royal workshops. All the items that were going to be placed in the king's burial, he was responsible to make sure that they got made and placed in the tomb at the appropriate time. There are scenes of industries, grain and silo storage. Scenes of industries making mud bricks and smelting metal. There are offering bearers for the deceased, so all the goods that he needed, which were going to be transported after his funeral into the tomb. The tomb was quarried out of the side of the hill. What's amazing about this is they smoothed down the walls to get it nice and flat. So we're talking 18th dynasty. The 18th dynasty didn't use plaster, they smoothed down the walls. Then the walls were painted with the appropriate scenes and hieroglyphs. The hieroglyphs were painted blue, figures were painted a reddish colour, and yellow was used in the choice of colours. Now red represents the energy of the goddess Neith and the energy and power of Ra. This is an open chapel, so it's not a tomb. It was the wrong classification. It's not a tomb, it's an open chapel, a memorial chapel for a family to come and visit. So it didn't have a doorway on it. It was there to allow any family members or visitors to come inside and join the pictures, and if they could, read his name. Because if your name was read, your spirit would be remembered forever. It would never fade. So uttering your name after you died was essential to keep your spirit alive. Although the magical pictures would do that, the fact that his name is written in the tomb, uttering it would give you more energy. There's no burial shaft, it's just a chapel. So inside there is the going forth by day spell, which enables a spirit to leave their tomb and make their journey to their chapel to collect the offerings which are on the offerings list within inside this chapel. Also, there is the opening of the mouth spell, so that once the body has been purified and mummified, it's taken to the place of burial. It's struck open to allow the spirit to leave the mummified body, and then the mummified body is left in the tomb for the spirit to re-enter after it's made its nighttime journey to the afterlife and back. The burial is elsewhere, and I've looked through all my records, and it's hasn't been found yet, so that's exciting. Now, because it was an open chapel, when the country became Christian and then eventually Islam, it was used as a dwelling place. So there's evidence that there were donkeys inside the chapel. A family lived there, they made it their home. There's evidence of fires because there's soot on the ceiling, and a bit of other damage as well. In 1940, it was decided to make this chapel secure. So the Egyptian government put an iron gate on the entrance to the chapel to control the flow of visitors and also to keep the bats out. It is an amazing tomb. If you have a look at this picture here, you can see it's got a traverse ceiling that is up high and it comes down. It goes right the way back to the tomb, so the ceiling slopes down. And what that is that when the spirit comes through the false door, which is at the end of the tomb, it is catapulted to the afterlife. That's why I think he had the ceiling made like that. There's no other reason for it. Has to be something to do with that journey through the duat to get to the afterlife and come back. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please press your subscribe button, thumbs up, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now.
Rekhmire.